morning. I'm cosplaying as a lime today and I feel so beautiful. Hello guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is, as you can probably tell by the title, new makeup releases, favorites, and fails for July. I'm a little late. Let's not talk about it. I was honestly kind of shocked. I really did not think I tested out a ton of new releases this month, just because half of my month was spent in bed recovering from surgery and the other half was spent with me locked in my room listening to Lizzo pretending that I have self-esteem. But I laid out all the new releases I tried out this month and there were actually a ton of them. And I'm very excited to share all the reviews with you guys. So if you're new to the series, basically new makeup releases, favorites, and fails is just where I go through all the newly released makeup products I tried out this month and just review them all in one go. It's a really good way for me to kind of smush all the relevant products into one video. Full details of this look should already be on Instagram. The DEWY merch has been restocked for the last time, so as I'm talking right now, I believe it's available for 18 more days and then it's finito. But the fall merch is coming and honestly, I'd save your money. And now, without further ado, if you'd like to see all the new releases I tried this month and my thoughts on them, because I have many thoughts, continue watching. I'm going to start off with what I'm wearing on my eyes right now. It's actually a palette that I did not think I was going to buy until I saw it in stores in Sephora. I do really like Huda Beauty's Mini Obsessions palettes. A really solid, like $27, pretty great quality across the board. It came out with 3 neon Mini Obsessions palettes. So basically, same format, but these are neon, as the name would imply. There's an orange one, a pink one, a purple one, and a green. So actually, 4 palettes.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
I was really interested in the purple one and the green one, and I ended up picking up the green one in stores. So I'm wearing this palette on my eyes right now. I have this in the crease, I have this on the inner part of my lid, this kind of on the middle part of my lid. These two shades kind of mixed together, smudged into the outer part. There are only 3 mattes in here, but I personally really prefer Huda shimmers. I think they're just a really unique and very fun formula, so I don't really mind that. But I actually really like these. I was nervous for the matte neon shades. Those are just typically very difficult to formulate, so I picked up the greens because I was like, this is either going to be completely ass or actually pretty good. I do think that these require like a wet, stickier eye base to kind of help them get a little bit more pigmented, so I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer. I reviewed this one I think last month. I do want to give a little bit of an updated review. I really did like the formula of this one initially, but the packaging just kind of like spurts out a fountain when you first open it. As I've used this one a little bit more, that packaging issue kind of goes away. I think after you get through the first like 10 to 15% of the eye base, then the packaging issue starts to go away. So that's my little updated spiel on this. Truly though, the star of the show for me are these shimmers. They're just insane. I think Huda does a really great job with very fun duochrome. So this shade here kind of looks like a blue, but when you swatch it, there's a little bit of everything in there. It's got a purple, it's got some purple, it's got some blue, it's got some like kind of weird greenish shades in there, and a little bit of brown too. I love that these are really glittery and nice and high impact on the eyes. It just kind of have this like nice kind of glossy effect. So overall, I would give these neon palettes my stamp of approval. I do want to add though that this kind of chunkier white transformer shade has a lot of dimethicone in there, so it's kind of more like a silicone-y, a little bit of like a slick feeling on the eyes. And I have noticed that this one, because it's more like kind of like a ColourPop Super Shock, it does tend to crease throughout the day if you have oilier eyelids. But yeah, if you were looking at these little neon palettes and you were nervous that they're not good quality, I think they're actually pretty good. I think I will definitely go back and buy the purple one, maybe the pink one, although sometimes I am allergic to Huda's pinks. It's come to my attention that apparently this palette, the neon green palette, has really bad reviews on Sephora, and I didn't even know that before I bought it. I just thought it was pretty and I liked it, and this is why I don't like to watch or like read reviews before I buy something, because I feel like it can really twist my perception of how the product is. So my review still stands. I still think it's good. It's not like the best green eyeshadows I've ever used, but I think if you use them with a wet base and you just like work to build them up a little bit more, I think you can make it work. So yeah, I don't know. Oh god, this summer of 2019 has belonged to 2 people, Megan Thee Stallion, and every brand releasing foundations. There's been a lot of like new foundation line releases that I've been very interested in, and I think one of the most like talked about ones was definitely Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. Pure came out with a shade range of 100 foundations, which some people were like, yes, great. Some people were like, that's not necessary. Personally, I think it's cool. I did have a pretty hard time finding my actual shade. So I have the shade LG4. It's actually a pretty good shade match. I'm wearing it on my skin right now. This I was very interested and kind of nervous to test out. I tried the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation stick, which has the same name as this foundation. I think I've dragged that bitch enough. I don't even need to go back on that one. Also, Raw Beauty Christie, my DEWY queen, said that this is her like new favorite foundations. First of all, I was not expecting it to be as full coverage as it was. So when I first tested it out, I hated it because I was expecting like a nice kind of like medium to full coverage dewy or more luminous foundation. I don't think it's very matte. I think it looks nice and skin-like, so I'm wearing it right now. I don't have any setting powder on it except on my under eyes and a little bit on my forehead. I think the foundation has like a nice satin finish. It just looks very skin-like and pretty. And honestly, it kind of reminded me of the YSL All Hours foundation. This is my favorite like very long wearing foundation. So once I kind of got a handle on the amount of coverage in this one, I only use one pump now to cover my entire face and a little bit down my neck as well. It spreads really easily. It's very nice and easy to blend. I personally do prefer it with a sponge. I don't like how it looks with a brush. I think it diffuses really nice. It doesn't look heavy on the skin at all, even though it is very full coverage. Because you are using such a small amount to get that amount of coverage, it just looks very nice and skin-like and pretty. Yeah, this is a really solid formula. I was very pleasantly surprised with this one. I am very hit and miss with a lot of Pure's products, but this is good. I wish that they had all 100 shades in Ulta. That would be so awesome for people who want to like shade match themselves in person. But if you do have a perfect shade match from another brand, they have a quiz online that was actually fairly helpful in getting me a decent shade match. I'm a dumbass. I believe it was last month that I made an anti-haul where I basically talked myself out of buying a bunch of products that I really wanted. And this was one of those products, the Marc Jacobs Youth Quick Hydrofull Retexturizing Gel Cream. I really wanted to get this one. I liked the ingredients in there. I'm like such a skincare hoe. Basically, the only reason I didn't want to buy this one was because it was a $60 moisturizer.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
It doesn't help that it has this beautiful like kind of vanilla banana-y smell. And I thought this would be a really beautiful moisturizer for kind of like skin prep before my foundation, just because it was so thin but had nice active ingredients in there. So I did anti-haul it. Then I had a moment of weakness and I bought it, and I have no regrets. Well, a little bit. But you know what? I bought it. I'm gonna let myself enjoy it. I'm gonna stop beating myself up about it because it's really good. I need something a little bit more delicate that's gonna replenish my hydration, and this, because it's a moisturizer, really works to give you nice hydration while also kind of lightly and gently making everything polished and smooth. I definitely don't think it's like a necessity though. So many like nice light moisturizers for wearing under your foundation. You don't need a specific Marc Jacobs Earthquake, but I'm enjoying it, and not just because it's yellow and that's my favorite color right now. Speaking of yellow, it feels like ages since I reviewed the Aha Honey palette initially. I think that's probably because ColourPop has released 2 new monochromatic palettes during the month of July since I reviewed this one.
It's time to stop!
By the way, I've decided I'm not going to be buying the orange palette, mostly out of spite, but also because I just like don't wear orange eyeshadow very often. But the yellow palette, I've been loving this one. If you can't tell by my Instagram, I've been wearing this constantly. I just think that these are some of the best yellow mattes I've ever tried in my life. Specifically Sweet Spot. I really hate ColourPop's single yellow. I think it's called Tiki. That's ass. This is great. They need to release this in a single because I will buy like 5 million of them. Even like this pressed glitter in the middle, which I thought I was gonna hate so much. I just think it's a really beautiful palette, and I didn't know how they were gonna pull off a monochromatic yellow palette that wasn't gonna have like a couple browns in there, but they did it, and it's really good. Truly the palette of the summer, and for $12 they truly snapped on this one. And that's why I'm so mad about the orange palette, is because it looks pretty much exactly like this one in orange. It looks exactly how I thought it was gonna look, and I still hate it. Okay, so AOE Studio released a bunch of new things this month. Most notably, they released the A+ buildable satin foundations that are $1.88 each. How? And I was pleasantly surprised by their shade range most of the time, especially with like dollar store or more drugstore brands. Big shade ranges are not something they come out with, and they did come out with only 15 shades, but they are $1.88 each, and you're supposed to kind of mix and match. I think they have a nice range of very fair skin tone shades and very deep skin tone shades. They did send me a bunch of different shades. I have these shades Sand and Fair Ivory that I've been mixing. The ingredients are actually pretty decent. Also get a pretty good amount of products in here for like $1.88, and I love that those 88 cents do go to charity. Is it my new Holy Grail foundation? No, I don't think it's anything super special. When I finish these up, I don't necessarily think I'll repurchase them, but I do think I'm going to buy a bunch of them for my kit because I think they're really great shade mixers, and I also like them on their own. So it's not super dewy, it's not super matte, so I think it's a very in the middle of the road work for pretty decent expansive people. I do think that the undertones do tend to pull a bit more to the yellow side, even with some of the cooler ones. It personally works for me because I am half Asian. I do have a bit more of a yellow golden undertone in my skin, but if you do have more pink undertones, I think the pink ones do tend to lean more to the peachy side, but I like them. I use about 1 drop of each one, so 2 drops in total, to do a nice amount of like medium-ish coverage. You can build them up a little bit more, but I do find that the more product you use, the more apparent they look on the skin, and they last really beautifully throughout the day. I'm consistently very impressed with the AOE Studio line products. They also released a full line of squeezy tube clear glosses with fruit scents. Thank you so much. Nisa, I hope you're proud of me. She's gotten me into wearing lip gloss again, and I'm wearing the juiciest lip right now. I have the strawberry one layered on top of a liquid lipstick, and it's just the wettest, most beautiful shine. They're very comfortable, not sticky at all. Just a very nice juicy formula, but they're not too like oily either, so you can wear them on top of like a matte liquid lipstick and they won't pick up or cause it to break apart. They have so many really great flavors. My personal favorites are pineapple, cherry, and strawberry. I've ordered a bunch to give to friends because they're $1 each, and honestly, if you're gonna pick up anything from Shop Miss A, I would recommend these and their Wonder Blenders. Finally, I wanted to give a quick little review to the A+ Super Strip Lash Adhesive. They came out with a lash glue. I really like AOE Studio's foam ink lashes, so I was very excited to try this out. I think a brush tip lash glue is just a lot more like convenient, less bitchy. I used to use the House of Lashes lash glue, but that one was so heavy duty that I would not be able to get it out of my lashes at the end of the day. It would just like be there perpetually. I brought this and the Duo to Disneyland. Duo lash glue held up through like actual roller coasters. For context, I sat in the front row of Space Mountain wearing the Duo lash glue and my lashes were fine. But I think I will probably just switch to this one because it's more convenient. I just like having a brush tip a little bit more. $1.88, so why not? Another brand that I love that released a bunch of new things is Moira Cosmetics, and when I showed these new palettes on my Instagram stories, I got a lot of requests to review them because, I mean, like, look at them. So the Moira Fear the Tarte palette, I believe I do have a look on my Instagram wearing this one. This one has a few more like matte shades, very neon and very bright, whereas the Sandcastles in the Sky, Moira has like the most beautiful shade names and product names I've ever seen in my life. This one's more like aquatic themed, kind of like duochromes, blues. I'll insert some swatches I did of these palettes on my Instagram stories. I think they're really beautiful. I do personally prefer Moira's Sweet Paradise palette. I think the mattes in there are just like insane quality. These ones are in a different pan size, so I don't know if the formula is like actually different. I think these are good. I don't think they're as amazing as Moira's bigger palettes. That's still really beautiful, and I actually really like the shimmers in here. I think the shimmers in these smaller palettes are actually a lot better. So I've just been really loving focusing on some like smaller palettes like this with more concise color schemes. I've just been liking palettes that have like around 10 or fewer colors in there, or just even like more mid-sized palettes like 14 or like 12 or 14.
You better stop!
If you're gonna go for one of them, I would say that the Sandcastles in the Sky, this aquatic themed one, is just beautiful. And then if you just want like pure duochrome shimmers, they came out with a bunch of these Lucent cream shadows, which I had a lot of tags on Instagram to try out. So they did send me the full line of these ones, and I just picked out a few of my favorites. Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune are my 3 favorite shades. These are just insanely beautiful. They kind of remind me of the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, just in terms of like texture. They're very like wet feeling, creamy and beautiful, but like, can you see that reflectiveness? Even though these are more like silicone-y dimethicone filled, I actually don't find that these crease on me, so these look beautiful on the lids. I just really love them. Overall though, I think indie brands have just really been killing the eyeshadow game this summer. Kaleidos is coming out with some like new beautiful brights palettes, which are on the way, which they did send me both of them in PR, and I'll be reviewing them very, very soon. They're still in the mail right now. Hi, Editing Julia here. So they came, obviously. Preliminary review. I think they're really good so far. I've been really, really enjoying them, and I'm very impressed with those like bright neon mattes. I'm still waiting to give my like final review of them because I haven't been testing them for that long, but I like them so far. But I haven't really gotten as excited about like mainstream brands eyeshadow palettes. I will be buying and reviewing the new Jackie Aina Anastasia palette. I think it's a really beautiful palette, and I do want to compare it to the Master Palette by Mario because I think they're kind of similar color schemes. Before I even tell you what this next product is, I just want to show you this silver.
I am shooketh.
Am I on crack?
Yes.
Or is that just perfect? Blue glittery shade does not swatch great, but it looks beautiful on the eyes, and here's this nice bronzy shade as well. It's been a hot minute since I've been interested in buying a Tarte palette, but I've been on, again, such a mini palette kick, and Tarte came out with these little foil finger paint mini palettes. They have these small little mini palettes, trios at Sephora. First of all, the glittery packaging, yes. I like the inner component as well. They have 3 different colorways of this palette. The other 2 are just basic, like, kind of like warmer tone shades. I needed a silver in my collection. I thought this would be a really good one to have with me. As you can see, this is the greatest silver that's ever existed in the history of humanity. I'm so glad that Tarte came out with this formula in palette form. These are $25 each, whereas I believe that the singles of these like chrome foil paint pots are like about $20 per shade. That's a really great way to try out 3 different really, really unique shimmer shades. And then in each palette there is like one kind of like glittery shade. It's not the best with a brush, but it looks really beautiful with your finger. But like hot diggity dog, the foil paint shades in here are just insanity. So this shade here in the bronze, it's safe to say that this single shimmer right here has converted me into somebody who likes cool tones on their eyes. I've had this kind of complexion foundation product on my list to try out for a long time, never got around to it. I finally bit the bullet and I bought the Thrive Cosmetics Buildable Blur CC Cream. This is a very like conscious charity focused brand. I know Kathleen Lights really likes this one, as well as my personal bae, Whitney Simmons. I feel like most people who watch me probably don't watch Whitney, but if you need to know anything about her, she's a DEWY hoe. I just used this one in the last video that I did, which was to get ready with me, and let me tell you, it's dewy. I love this so much. It reminds me of the IT Cosmetics CC cream, but just a little bit more like skin-like and luminous. It's more on the medium coverage side rather than the full coverage, because it just feels so light. And during the summer months, especially because California is in the 90s right now,
The sun is a deadly laser.
I just hate feeling like I'm wearing a ton of product on my face. It just doesn't feel good when I'm dying and I want to crawl out of my own skin. This kind of just feels like you put on moisturizer. Really like this one. I definitely want to try more from Thrive because I've heard great things about their mascara. But if anyone's tried stuff from Thrive, please let me know what you like, because it's a brand that's now on my radar. I've been using this for about 2 months straight. It's been the only toner I've been using for the entire time I've been testing it. But Laneige released this cream skin toner and moisturizer. I really think Korean skincare has changed my skin a lot for the better. I would always have some like dry spots that my foundation would like pick up on. You could be using literally the best foundation ever. It's gonna look shitty if your skin looks shitty. It's gotten rid of all my dry spots, really kept my skin healthy and my skin barrier very replenished. There's so many calming ingredients in here. It just gets rid of all my redness and all my dry spots. And I'm just kind of like convinced that Laneige makes products that are specifically for my face. So thank you to so many people who recommended this one. You did me really great. Okay, so I've liked pretty much all the products I tried this month. This one I have a bit more of like a complicated, mostly negative relationship with, and it's the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow Face Illuminator. So I really wanted to like this a lot, and I used it in the last Get Ready With Me. That is the only way I've been able to use this product in which it actually looks nice and I like it. I have the shade Crystal Clear. It's a liquid, it's kind of like a liquid cream highlighter, and when you squirt it out, it basically looks like this kind of like jelly texture. Very like luminous and wet on the skin. It truly makes your skin look like you have a kind of glassy, wet looking effect going on. So I'm going to apply some to my collarbones right now because it looks really beautiful on the body because it's a liquid. It doesn't sit down. It stays very, 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 very sticky. Gorgeous and wet on the body. That's not necessarily the best thing for the face. So it's kind of like a sticky lip gloss. My hair, whenever I'm wearing lip gloss, it's just kind of like, oh my god, lip gloss? And if you're wearing this on your cheekbones, kind of the same thing goes for your face, except my hair is a lot closer to my cheekbones, so it's a little bit more like, oh, you have little kind of like strands of hair sticking to your cheekbones. I think it's beautiful. It has its kind of like stage makeup applications. If you like glossy makeup and you kind of like that editorial wet look, this is beautiful for that. I just don't think it's a practical product by any means. And if you're kind of wanting a similar look, I think the Becca Glow Glaze Stick gives a very similar like wet appearance, but it's so much less sticky. So I found the finest mist known to mankind, and no, it's not the Morphe Prep and Set. May I introduce you to the Fresh Vitamin Nectar Antioxidant Glow Water. It's a skin nutrition face mist. It basically just means it's water that smells nice and makes your skin feel nice and juicy. I'm gonna spray it right now. Literally the finest mist known to mankind. I've been using this and the Vitamin Nectar Glow Juice Antioxidant Face Serum as my like morning skincare. In the morning, I don't really need to do so much just because I go hard on my nighttime skincare routine that I kind of just like to wake up. I do like a nice Cetaphil, very gentle cleanser. Then I'll kind of put this on, tap this into my skin, and then add on some sunscreen. And it's just been so nice. I've been so much more gentle with my skin in the past month. Just kind of realizing that if I'm using so many expensive products the night before, I don't need to do so much work in the morning. I can kind of just like trust that I spent my money well and just kind of like lightly nourish everything. So if you find that you're investing in these really, really nice expensive products, but they're not working as well as they should be, maybe just kind of scale it back and get a little bit more simple with things. I find that when skincare products aren't working, it's less often that the product's bad and more often that it's just not being used correctly or that it's not being used with the correct things. So yeah, just because this feels so nice, I'm gonna go ahead again. Finally, the last one I have is not a new release, but Samantha Robindahl made me do it. This is the Hourglass Illume Sheer Color Trio, and I'm convinced that this is what Samantha Robindahl was wearing on her face at her wedding because she looks so beautiful. You know I love cream cheek products, so I had to try the ones from Hourglass, and I'm wearing the bronzer and the blush on my skin right now. Absolutely beautiful. Samantha was right. And if I could remake my favorite cream products video, I would definitely include this. Alright guys, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this new makeup releases, favorites and fails. July was quite the month for me. The first half was rough. I am doing so great. Thank you guys so much for Amazing July, the amazing outpouring of like love and kindness in response to the surgery video was just everything I could have asked for and more. You guys never cease to shock me and amaze me with how much love is capable of people on the internet. I'm really thankful for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Also, follow me down below on Instagram to see my dewy ass complexion more often on your feed. Get your dewy merch before it's gone, bonfire.com/JulieMazzucato. And if you made it to the very end of this video, hold up, let me get my list of insults. You perfect sunflowers. I think that's very appropriate for this yellow filled month. You get the bonus meme. I love you. Bye. Alright hoes, I'm going untraditional for today's bonus meme. This isn't necessarily a meme, but it made me laugh for about 5 minutes straight when I saw it. That's so funny. Go Bruins.